Elo-Rivera. And first of all, we planned this event for a very long time and even considered canceling because of the devastating flooding that happened earlier this week. But today's event was always focused on our communities and the incredible leaders that we are so lucky to have here today. We know that in tough times, it's moments like these that remind us of our commitments to each other as people and to justice for our most harmed folks. It was important to us that we recognize the great work of some of the members of our community, and it's the hard work for the good of other residents that is so inspiring to us. And so right now we need that inspiration. Before we get started, I wanted to share some community guidelines as reminders. As always, we provide these at the top of our events to make sure that we are creating a space that is welcoming and respectful to all. Number one, please communicate with each other with courtesy and respect. Also, please do not interrupt other folks as they are speaking. Please recognize that we have interpretation occurring simultaneously. So we invited you to follow along the program as it is designed and say hello to our interpreters back there. If you have any questions or comments as the program proceeds, do not hesitate to flag down a District 9 staff member wearing a blue shirt like mine. We're happy to help and can step aside if you need any assistance. And can I get the D9 folks to raise their hand up and let everybody know? All right. And perhaps one of the most important things is that if you need to use a restroom, they're over here to your right in the corner. Okay. So thank you again for joining us today. Without any further delay, I'd like to introduce your council member and City Council President, Sean Elo-Rivera.
Thank you, Chris. And thank you everyone for being here. It was so nice to hear that mariachi music, wasn't it? Yeah. And that sound was especially important for the reasons that Chris mentioned. It's been a really, really tough week. Less than 10 minutes from here, there are folks who lost everything. And we've spent a lot of time down there in the southern part of the district talking to those folks, and it's been heavy. But as Chris mentioned, we wanted to make sure that we recognize the amazing work that has happened over the course of this past year, and make sure that hard work and inspiring work was given its due. So the folks who were impacted are very much on our mind. There is cleanup happening right now. There's response and recovery efforts happening right now. But when I asked Marianne earlier this week, should we cancel? She said, I thought about it a lot, but we need to make sure that the folks who are getting these awards get the attention and respect that they deserve for putting in that work. And having gotten a few minutes into this program, I'm so glad that we made that decision. When I think about this past year, it really has been an incredible year. My wife, Angela, and I became parents for the first time. We had a chance to meet new people in the community and share some incredible moments together as a community. We faced challenges together, some of those that we overcame and others that we are still working on, and we lost some amazing members of our community. I want you all to know that it's been an honor and a pleasure to serve each and every one of you for the past 3 years and do my best to represent our collective voice in our city's government. This community inspires, challenges, and shapes me every single day. And despite tremendous challenges and upheaval, our district continues to move forward. And that is because you and we, as a community, are nothing if not persistent. That persistence is shown through advocacy and organizing, through service. And one of the best ways that I can try to advocate for you all is by advocating for more resources and money to come to our District 9 communities. That is money to fix our streets, our street lights, upgrade parks, and other physical structures that we use on a daily basis. Oftentimes, these are to meet needs that should have long ago been met and have been allowed to erode in a way that they shouldn't have been. It makes the work even more important. This past year, our office secured nearly $40 million in infrastructure funds. That's money that went towards improvements at Dennis B. Allen Park, Colina del Sol Park, and Azalea Park. We also secured funding for Clay Park, Ward Canyon Park, and Choyas Creek Oak Park Trail. The money is also went toward fixing roads and sidewalks, water pipes, and storm channels. And boy, is that showing how important that is in the past week. That persistence has also been shown through demanding that our district and the city provide folks the safety that everyone deserves. And safety means a lot of things to a lot of people. Fundamental to the belief in safety for everyone in our office is providing folks the safety to move freely to and from the things that they need to go to and want to go to in the ways that they want to get there. This is a big city of 1.4 million people, and sometimes we have to work together to make sure that city departments knows that there is an issue that needs to be addressed in our communities. After a horrific accident on Adams Avenue, a crash that took the life of a young boy in Kensington, just around the corner from where I live, the community came together and residents demanded safety measures to make the road safer for cars and pedestrians. And through our collective persistence, we have already begun to win some changes, including a crosswalk with flashing lights. That persistence was also demonstrated in Stockton, where we joined the community group in calling for traffic calming measures because neighbors had to cross a 4-lane road with no stoplights or crosswalks to get to the market. Every single day, feeling like their life and their safety was put in jeopardy just to go to the store. That intersection was just approved because of our community's persistence for another crosswalk with flashing lights. Let's hear it for the folks who made that work happen. Even when it's hard, I can tell you that our office truly does love working together with community to make our neighborhoods feel safer. And I'm going to be asking for us to do that even more. One of the biggest challenges our district faces and the city faces is the high cost of housing and the related crisis of homelessness. Our neighbors are consistently and have consistently been talking to us about how expensive a city this is. We know. Many of us are experiencing that ourselves. We also hear concerns about encampments and the impacts that that has on our community. These aren't just issues here in District 9, but all over San Diego, throughout California, and more commonly throughout the country. It is incredibly difficult to find housing that is affordable. And too often, people who can't afford their rent are either ending up on the streets or being displaced from our communities. My office heard those concerns and we responded. 2 years ago, I introduced a pilot program called the Housing Instability Prevention Program, which helps seniors and families stay in their homes by providing them a small subsidy of just a few $100s a month. Instead of people going through the trauma and heartache of becoming homeless and then having to find shelter and housing, we keep them in their homes. We provide additional support. It's a more efficient way, and I'd say a more moral way, for our city to address homelessness. This program has helped keep hundreds of seniors and families stay off the streets. This year, we're going to insist that we invest more in that program so we can stem the tide of people becoming homeless or being displaced from San Diego. With inspiring persistence, we also, organizers and advocates took on the fight of tenant protections. They took on a fight against very, very well-resourced opposition, and hand in hand with them, we introduced and passed the new tenant protection ordinance, which prevents people from being evicted when they're paying their rent on time and complying with their lease. For years, we've heard about, and some in my office have experienced, unscrupulous landlords evicting residents for small renovations and then jacking up the rent by over $1,000 a month for the folks who've moved in. This new tenant protection ordinance is preventing unnecessary evictions and preventing rents from shooting up higher than they already are. Again, we see that when you speak up and we work together, we can make meaningful change. Sometimes our persistence is demonstrated simply in the way that we work together to do something as simple as keeping our neighborhoods clean. Last year, you came together and helped us organize over 20 dumpster days and litter cleanups across the district, where we collected nearly 60 tons of trash. This is waste that would have otherwise gone into our streets, sidewalks, parks, waterways, or potentially clogged more storm channels. Some of these were organized by our office, and some cleanup events were organized by District 9 community members and businesses. We are so grateful for each of you who volunteered your time on weekends to keep our neighborhoods beautiful. Let's have a round of applause for everyone who worked on our organized events. Now, to the part of the program that most of you, if not all of you, are actually here for, and that is recognizing our community members. We know many of you are deeply involved in our neighborhoods and with your people. We are lucky to have an active district that takes care of one another. Today, we're honored to recognize some of those leaders that have gone above and beyond. So, in just a moment, we're going to hand out some awards, and while we set up, we're going to hear some more music from the City Heights Music School.
got you, Victoria. Thank you so much. Now we'd like to recognize the great work of our community members and community partners over the past year. We know that some of these awardees have been doing great work in the district for years, and we'd like to make sure that we thank them for their passionate involvement in making the district better. Please accept your award and take a photo with the council president over there. Reminder to awardees that you don't have to worry about speaking. When your name is called, please come on up, wave to everybody, accept the applause and admiration, and then go ahead and take a photo with the council president. So we'd like to start with the award for our Community Partner of the Year, and that's Ocean Discovery Institute. ODI is an organization that has made a multi-generational impact in our community by expanding opportunity for City Heights youth through education and exposure to career and recreational pathways. They're too often shut off for our youth. We are grateful for their leadership and investments in our young folks. Many of their alumni stayed plugged in, serving even as staff or board members, which is a testament to the mission and the work of the organization. So let's give a big round of applause to the Ocean Discovery Institute. Okay, we have Volunteers of the Year. Our first Volunteer of the Year award goes to Marilyn Gonzalez. Marilyn has a contagious enthusiasm that has brought so many community members together to volunteer and participate in those community cleanups that Council President was talking about in the Talmadge community, where her business, Gem Coffee, is located. Her positive impact also is felt in the City Heights neighborhoods of Terralta East and Colina del Sol, collaborating with residents, students, and businesses to create a better space for all. Thank you so much, Marilyn. Our next Volunteer of the Year award goes to Brisa Layana. Where's Brisa? A lifelong resident of Stockton, Brisa has been a tremendous asset to the community. For many years, she's led many of the Stockton residents to volunteer in community cleanups, advocating for safer streets, and recruiting folks to join the Stockton Community Group. Hosting meetings at her home. Wonderful. Thank you, Brisa. And now our next awardee was unfortunately unable to attend today, but we are grateful to the leadership of Lynn Edwards, another Volunteer of the Year awardee. Lynn currently serves as the chair of the Eastern Area Communities Planning Committee and the Rolando Park Community Council. Lynn has spent many years working in the community, like leading projects to improve infrastructure, invest in community beautification, as well as highlighting Eastern Area's needs. So let's give a round of applause to Lynn Edwards. And now our Business of the Year doesn't just show up for community events. They support and initiate opportunities to build community. They unfortunately were unable to join us today, but we want to thank them for everything they do for the Kensington community. Megan Beauvais and Associates. And now, our Nonprofit of the Year award goes to the Normal Heights Community Association. Normal Heights Community Association is an organization that truly lives out their values of fostering local engagement and building connections between our diverse communities. Through their monthly mixers, annual events, and community leadership, the Normal Heights Community Association has cultivated neighborhood pride, belonging, and inclusion. Thank you for your work. Our next award is for Youth Leader of the Year, and it goes to Mid-City Community Advocacy Network Youth Council. Mid-City Trans Youth Council was instrumental in securing $750,000 for improvements to the office Jeremy Henwood Park. It was a significant win for a City Heights community that is desperate for investments in parks and green spaces. And that win would not have happened without the commitment and dedication of the young people involved in the Youth Council, with the support of MCC's staff, Victor Ponce and Belen Hernandez. And now we have our Artist of the Year, and the award goes to Artreach San Diego. Artreach does incredible work with our young artists, partnering with students across different schools. We've been fortunate to have some of their amazing efforts occur in our district, with some examples of noteworthy their murals being located at the Little Flower in College area, Copley Price YMCA in Talmadge, and one of the new affordable housing projects in City Heights. Their murals bring our community together through community painting days and provide opportunities for youth to explore their artistry. And now we want to recognize our heroes of the district. Our Northern Hero of the Year is Kim Emerson. Kim is a Normal Heights resident that has created and stewarded the mosaic mural entitled Kaleidoscope of Butterflies on the corner of Adams Rec Center building in Normal Heights. This should be installed by early March. Additionally, she has been a champion for activating the Adams Community Recreation Group and encouraging her fellow neighbors to get involved. Kim also thanks her husband, Dennis Reeder, the Normal Heights Community Development Corporation, and Adams Avenue Business Association, and Normal Heights Urban Arts for all of their support and work to bring the mosaic to life. Now, our Mid-City Hero of the Year, a mother, a community leader driven by justice, and a champion for immigrants and refugees, Ramo Abdi. Ramo has been the heart for many of our folks in the City Heights community, whether in her efforts to fight for tenants, to support and empower our young folks, or to create cultural celebrations that honor her community. She's always there when people need her. Her history and service to our communities has earned many recognitions, and we are honored to acknowledge her as well as our Mid-City Hero of the Year. And now our Southern Hero of the Year, Juan Cruz from Mount Hope. As someone who was born and raised in Mount Hope, Juan has seen the many injustices that residents face in his neighborhood, have faced for generations. He's been a key advocate alongside the Mount Hope community members, fighting for investments in their neighborhood, such as the restoration of infrastructure and funding to their local park. He was also recently a graduate of Groundwork San Diego's leadership program. And now with a special thanks to Mariachi Victoria, please come over here and we have a certificate for you. Thank you very much for your wonderful music. All right, let's give all our awardees a great big round of applause. Thank you so much for all you do for our community. And I'll turn it over to Sean to close things out.
Thank you so much, Chris. As I was watching folks come up here and watch you all appreciate each other, it does really drive home how much I love this district and everything that it stands for and everything that it is. There's some incredible work happening out in the district, and I am really proud to be your council member. I'm also proud to be a council member that works alongside an incredible staff that works very hard for the community. And I just want to take a moment to recognize my staff. Many of them you know, but they are as dedicated as I am, and so inspiring in their work to help our communities make a difference in everyone's lives. So one by one, I'd like to recognize them, and if we could give them the incredibly warm round of applause that they deserve. First, Community Rep Sara Alaga. Community Representative always keeping me on track. Community Representative Roberto Marin. Community Representative Francisco Parapa. We're going to actually do that one again. Francisco was doing his job so well, he was outside still manning the table. Community Representative Jeffrey Wynn. Our community representative and the person who designs anything that you think is aesthetically pleasing on our social media posts, Ben Mendoza. Our executive assistant, Lauren McDonald. Director of Community Empowerment, Marianne Osman. Director of Strategic Initiatives, Maya Rosas. Director of Policy, Brendan Benzino. Our Chief of Staff, Lydia Van Note. Our Council Communications team, Chris Chan and Mario Sandomet. Legislative Affairs team, Luz Anaya and Heidi Palmer. Government Affairs Manager, Julio Garcia. And our last but certainly not least, our wonderful team of interns who answer phone calls, respond to emails, and do so many other very important things in our office. Addis, Brian, Daniela, Gino, and Julia. We did get through it. I don't want to keep everyone here too long, but I do want to look forward to what you can expect in the year to come. And I'm going to start by talking about what's going on with respect to the floods. I'm going to be honest, folks, what happened down there is not going to be fixed in a week. There are folks who have very likely lost their homes forever, and neighborhoods that have forever been changed. And so we're going to need the persistence of this community. And some of those neighborhoods are in our District 9. We're going to need the persistence of this community to help help them recover, help the city recover. This is such a beautiful city. And on a day like today, it can be very easy to forget that there are things happening all over the world and in our district that none of us are comfortable with. And so there will be a time when we're going to call upon you to step up and help those folks who really are in need. That started today with something as simple as bringing diapers. And for those of you who did that, thank you. I stood in a room with some parents on Wednesday night who lost their homes, and one of the dads there said, "I'm down to 2 diapers for my baby." Sorry, everything, new dad, everything gets me. But that's the sort of situation we're talking about. And so this morning we collected well over $1,500 in diapers from some folks in the labor movement who stepped up. We see some diapers over there, and that's going to make a world of difference for folks who do not have the time or the money to figure stuff like that out right now. So thank you. And there will be more to come. On a district level and a city level, there are crises that we have to respond to in the moment and things that we know have been unacceptable for far too long. And one of those issues is the safety on our streets. From the northernmost parts of our district to the southernmost parts of our district, one of the issues that is most commonly a point of frustration is the desire to feel safe when walking or riding or driving on our streets. And we believe that is a fundamental right, to be able to move to and from the things that you have to do, that you want to do, without fearing for your safety. Nonetheless, it's dangerous out there, and we're going to need to come together and demonstrate that persistence that we've shown in the past to make our streets safer. So over the next year, you have my commitment and my office's commitment to make that a top priority. And I want to do that with you. So what we are asking, it's going to start with something very simple, and don't worry, we'll build from there. Right now, it's going to start with that survey that some of you may have saw on the table out front. And that survey is open right now to get your thoughts on how street safety and how to make our communities more livable. Your input will help us determine what policies we as a city council need to change or approve to enhance street safety, as well as to make it easier to install traffic calming measures. We know that there are neighborhoods who've been asking for these changes for years, and it shouldn't be so hard. It is my goal to bring proposals to City Council this year that will lead to safer neighborhoods for all District 9 residents. So again, on our resource table, you'll find a QR code that you can scan that will take you right to our brief survey, and please fill that out if you haven't already. Also, if you have, please share that with others in your neighborhood. It is really, really important. And again, just the first step in this collective effort to make us all safer. With that, I am proud to report that the state of our district is persistent. Persistent in our ambitions, persistent in our aspirations, and persistent in our actions. Our district needs us, all of us, to come together and work toward common cause. I invite you to join me in facing our challenges and working to improve our neighborhoods. I've seen the determination, the courage, and the persistence of this community. Together, we can make our homes, our neighborhoods, and the city as a whole, not just a fine city, but a great city. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate you being here. Have a great day.